What's going on, everyone? So this LeBron thing just won't come to an end. Eric Pincus, as well as Marc Stein, keep kind of running with the LeBron narratives. New reports came out from Marc Stein about kind of the information and how the Lakers are looking at the situation. And essentially, we'll go over all the details here in a moment, but essentially that the Lakers kind of want LeBron James to walk away after this season. That's been something that's been talked about basically since, he opted in or even before. All right. And my whole thing about it is like, there's so much that can happen between now and the end of the year. Right? Like, what if the Lakers win the championship and LeBron wants to stay? Are they going to be like, no, sorry, we want to? No, like, of course you're going to repeat. What if LeBron ends up requesting a trade? Okay, then he requests a trade. What if LeBron leaves himself or retires or the Lakers end up doing something in the offseason or something? Like, there's a million things that could happen, right? And we're talking about something that is likely going to happen a year from now. Like, talk about it in the offseason when it actually is a thing, right? When LeBron isn't under contract for the Lakers and it's like, okay, what is LeBron going to do? If these conversations were happening, next offseason, then I'd understand them more. I'd be like, okay, cool. Right? But you have like Eric Pincus still putting out trade packages. And then, Marc Stein even said that he's intrigued with Dallas, that Dallas, may make a move or whatever, right? It's just, look, if they do, then they do. If LeBron wants out, he's going to be out. But my whole thing is like, that there's all this talk about, well, the Lakers don't want him beyond this season, right? So they're like, what are they going to do? They're just going to let him walk? Okay, fine. Then they let him walk, right? Like, you had Rich Paul himself come out and say that, like, there was no conversation about a long-term deal or anything like that. Like, we didn't ask for a long-term extension. Lakers are waiting to see, what is LeBron going to do? What does LeBron want? What have the Lakers done every offseason? Waited to see, what does LeBron want to do? Usually LeBron goes, hey, I want to opt out and then get a new 1+1. This year, he decided to just opt in. Right? Like Rich Paul has said, like, nothing happened. They haven't talked about trades. They haven't talked about leaving. They haven't talked about anything. Now, look, LeBron is out enjoying his best life, right? Maybe when he comes back, maybe it'll be something, right? But let's worry about that when the time comes. If Luka signs his extension and now LeBron's like, hey, I want to trade, and he comes back and he's like, it's time for me to go, then fine, it's time for him to go. He moves on. I don't think it's going to happen. I think him and Luka Doncic are going to stick around. Plus, why? If you're LeBron, your best chance might be with Luka, right? You're not going to go to a destination where you're going to play with a guy better than Luka. Luka also is everything you've been begging for years, to take the pressure off of you, to handle on the on-ball duties, and to take the reins from you so you can be more kind of off-ball second option. He's never truly going to be a second option, but Luka, it gives him the best shot. And the Lakers are the only team in the league that have 2 top 10 guys, that have literally a top 3 guy and a top, 7 to 10 guy, right? Like, the Lakers are in great shape. Do they have concerns? Sure, but every team have concerns. Did a whole video on like the what if thing, right? Like the what if narrative. And it's like, oh, there's so many what ifs with the Lakers. There's what ifs for every team. Literally every team except for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Every year, every team is a giant what if, except for the team that won the previous year. And even them to an extent, right? Because they want to win again. There's still what ifs, right? Everything has to kind of fall in line. But at least the only team that can say we are good enough to win a championship is the team that just won a championship, right? Everyone else is a giant what if. Denver, the Clippers, the Houston Rockets, all these teams are in the same what ifs. They all have flaws. They all have concerns. They all have issues, right? Like, no team is perfect. Even OKC almost lost twice last year. They should have lost to Denver, right? But Denver only had like 4 healthy players. And if Tyrese Halliburton doesn't get hurt, what does that series look like? It's probably a completely different series. So this whole like, oh, there's so many what ifs with the Lakers. That's every team, right? Lakers were the 3 seed last year. They solved several needs. The biggest one is the center position. They didn't just get a serviceable center. They got a top 10, top 12 center in all of basketball. They got one of the better centers that they could have gotten, and one of the ideal centers alongside Luka Doncic. The Lakers have had a very good offseason. The Lakers have made as many moves as all these other teams that are getting praised. It's just not the big, sexy moves, right? It's not, like, people talk about the Lakers landing Marcus Smart and DeAndre Ayton off of buyout, right? And how it's trash and they're washed up and all that stuff. But then the same people will praise the Clippers for signing Bradley Beal off of buyout, right? So, okay, so what is it? So are guys being bought out because they're trash, or guys being bought out because of circumstances, the new CBA, the situation that they're in, right? There's a million reasons guys get bought out, right? And the Lakers have solved their point of attack defense in Marcus Smart. They've solved DeAndre Ayton as their all-star caliber center. Not saying that he will be or anything like that, but he has the capabilities. I mean, the guy's a 17-10 guy for his career without Luka. Wouldn't be surprised if he's putting up all-star level numbers. Jake LaRavia, I think a lot of people are sleeping on Jake LaRavia. It's not counting guys just naturally getting better, another year of chemistry, a better coaching season from JJ Redick, who did a good job last year, who's only going to improve and get better as time goes on, right? Lakers are in very good shape. Are they a lock to win the championship? No, but no team really is. Like, there's no OKC the Warriors with Kevin Durant. There isn't that team, right? So all these teams are big question marks. Even OKC, we haven't had a repeat, a title contender in, they've all haven't made it out of the second round after they've won, right? So again, a lot to still unfold, and we still have so much time between now and training camp, right? And then, even if nothing happens between now and training camp, you still have, the trade deadline. Like, the Lakers will get you to improving it better. But I want to kind of go over these key points going around about Marc Stein and what he said. It's kind of a lot, so here we go. I believe that the 2025 season, purely speaking in a predictive voice, will not be LeBron's last. I repeat, this is something only he can really know, and more of a gut feeling read from me rather than reporting. But I fall into the camp that expects him to announce to the world that a certain season will be his last before it starts. The reality is that training camps don't open league-wide for 2 full months from now, which I keep saying, I keep talking about. We're still 2 months away from training camp, right? So some patience must be applied to have a clearer picture. But at this point, there have been no indication that James has begun thinking in 1-year terms, not yet anyways. Now look, something that I've talked about literally for years is this year isn't going to be his last year, or at least I don't know this. It's not like I'm talking to LeBron like, "Bron, what's up?" His other son will be in the league next year. Literally. His other, like, he wanted to play with his son. They did a whole commercial with Savannah, like, "Hey, do it again," right? Like the whole, play with your son and then do it again, right? So LeBron is a year out from being able to achieve that. Right? If he was going to retire, he probably retired last year after playing with the son. Right? Like, he's not going to go into this year and then now be a year away. Even if he does start to decline, he's not going to have such a drastic drop-off that he's not going to be able to play another year. Right? So I don't think he's going to leave, not so much because he wants the farewell tour. There's a lot of talks about him wanting that farewell tour, but I also think it's just because he's going to get to play with his other son, either against him or on the same team. But also continue to add, I believe that by saying what I just said in the previous paragraph, it means that I expect him to retire in a uniform that isn't purple and gold. It's pretty clear that at this juncture, the Lakers have launched the Luka Doncic era. It certainly appears as though they are approaching the 2025-2026 season as LeBron's last in Tinseltown. If James doesn't want to retire, forced upon him, as one suspects, that almost certainly means he would have to find a new team next summer. I believe that the 2025-2026 season, purely speaking in a predictive voice, right? So again, he's talking about how LeBron James, right, they want him to retire after this year, right? That they're considering him to essentially this be his last year, right? I don't. Even if that is the case, again, talk about this next offseason. This is my point, right? Like, talk about it next offseason, right? When we actually, are in and presented with that dilemma, right? Are the Lakers going to do that? Again, there's so many things that could happen. Like I said earlier, what if the Lakers win the championship? Right? Are the Lakers really going to force LeBron to go? What if LeBron, because he's in year 42 or age 42 in year, what would that be, 23 or whatever, right? Like, at that point, what if he's like, all right, I'm willing to take a discount. Let's go try. Like, what if we're close? Right? What if we make it to the finals and lose, or go to the conference finals and lose? right? Like, and we lose in a tough 7 or whatever. And LeBron's like, all right, I'll take a discount. We have all this money falling off, right? I'll take 25 million less to clear an extra 25 million off the books. Let's go, right? Let's go make something happen. Luka's expected to sign a 4-year deal, so he's going to be cheaper than you would think otherwise, right? And there's no free agents in 2027. It's the biggest thing, right? Like, there's all this talk about LeBron leaving in 2026 that the Lakers want to force him out in 2026. Who are you going to replace him with? There aren't any free agents. And if there's ever, like, if Giannis wants to come, right, then your best bet is to probably trade LeBron and get LeBron to work with you. Not to a Milwaukee, because he's not going to want to go there. But I've talked about maybe you do a 3-team trade where LeBron goes to Cleveland and then, all the package for LeBron goes to Milwaukee, plus maybe you send an Austin Reeves and you end up landing Giannis or something, right? Like, chances are, if the Lakers are going to land another star, it's more likely that they have to trade for that guy than it is that they just sign in free agency. Because also, teams aren't going to want, like, if Denver has any inclination that Jokic is going to leave and go to the Lakers for free, you don't think that they're going to try to trade him for something? And you don't think that there are teams that'll do the Kawhi Leonard situation? Of course there are. Right? Like, same thing with Giannis. You don't think that there are teams that would just, do the 1 year, fine, we'll just take the rental for 1 year. And if you're the Bucks, wouldn't you rather get something rather than nothing for him? Right? Same thing with Denver. So again, the likelihood is that if they land that other star is going to have to be via trade, which you probably need LeBron to work with you in order to do that. Or you keep him, and then if Jokic and Giannis want to come, then you let LeBron leave, and then you bring them in, and you free up the cap space that way. Right? Like, I don't know, like, what the plan and logic is in this. Right? I don't know. It's just really odd for me. But I believe that LeBron playing 25 seasons, by contrast, is a legit possibility on the board. This is, again, purely a gut feeling, read at the minute. But I certainly won't be shocked if he plays 2 more seasons after this one. I've already made it clear that I think he plays at least 24. At that point, why not go for the quarter century, right? So again, maybe he does, especially if he doesn't fall off, right? Let's say he goes from a top 10 talent to a top 20 talent. It's still really good. Say in the next 2 years, he's still a top 20, 25 player in all of basketball. That's still fantastic. That's still a guy that's going to get a bunch of money and stuff, right? So it's just, I don't get it, right? I don't get the whole logic and all that, and it's silly. But he also follows, I believe that forecast is the right one because James understands the dynamic of this league as well as any player ever has. And I think he knows deep down that the threat of him leaving Lakerland next summer is no threat at all now. It was a worry for every team he has played through the first 22 seasons of his career, but the Lakers widely presumed preferred scenario for their future is letting James' contract drop off the books after the 2025-2026 season. Paul's statement upon announcing the player option decision, which is featured in full further down, essentially hints at the understanding if you read it carefully. Right? So again, like, I get it. He's not reporting. He's trying to make it clear, like, I'm not reporting this. I'm just, these are just my opinions and thoughts. But all of this stuff could all be talked about next season when it happens, right? Like, we keep hearing the same thing. And then now we got reports that, like, the conversations have died down. It's like, yeah, because LeBron opted in. He's a Laker with a no trade clause. That doesn't mean he can't be traded, but it means he has to want to. He has to initiate and he has to do it. If LeBron wants to be traded, then the Lakers will trade him. The Lakers were open to trading him last season, with the Warriors and all that stuff. Like, they didn't want to, but they were like, hey, if that's what you want, that's what we'll do. Right? Like, what do you want? Lakers are game to do whatever he wants. Could this be the last season with him on the Lakers? Sure. But the thing that everyone's leaving out in these conversations is that LeBron came to the Lakers because of his family. Because his kids wanted to go to school there, his wife wanted to live there, all of that. Right? LeBron's not going to do something that his family doesn't want. That's why they ended up doing and going to LA. at the time, there was like 7 other teams he could have went to that made more sense and probably won more championships by now, for being honest. Right? Like, so again, like even from a pure basketball perspective, it didn't make sense for LeBron to go to the Lakers at that time. They were a young rebuilding team with a bunch of young guys that, were unpredictable. Right? They were one of the worst teams in basketball at that time. And LeBron went there because he knew, like, okay, like they'll do what I need to do, Lakers legacy, but because his family wanted to be there. Right? Like even going to the Clippers at the time made more sense. Right? There were options for him to go to, but he wanted to go to the Lakers because of the history and the legacy and all that stuff. And he wanted to follow suit in that legacy because he cares about his legacy, and his family wanted to be in LA. It's that simple, right? The only way he leaves, and I've said, I don't believe LeBron retires a Laker because I think he'll want to go and do that 1-year run with the Cavs or something like that. Right? Because, he's from Cleveland, Akron, he won a championship there, right? Like, I think his farewell tour will be in Cleveland because that's, again, what he does, right? Like, that's, again, where he comes from. He's going to want to go home for a year or whatever. I could see maybe his family kind of going there for a year or whatever because, he still has home there and stuff. Like, I could see it being kind of a 1-year thing when his son comes and all that. Right? So, again, I don't think he's going anywhere this season. Next season, let's worry about it next season. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.